We are in June, which means it's time to talk about housing market numbers for the month of May on the Central Coast. My name is Christian Tiessen. I'm with Hubbell Real Estate. And if you know anybody that needs real estate help buying or selling here on the Central Coast, feel free to reach out anytime. Make sure to stick around towards the end of the video because we're going to be talking about inflation. It's a very, very important topic to understand, to protect your wealth, to protect your future against the devaluing of the dollar. So make sure to stick around for that. Let's jump right into the numbers. First, I'm going to talk about Southern San Luis Obispo County. Generally speaking here, guys, we're seeing a flattening out of the situation we've been experiencing. So we've been seeing a lowering of amount of inventory on the market for a long time now, well over a year. And it looks like we might be starting to see that flatten out a little bit. Probably still need a couple months worth of information to make a real solid estimate on that, but it looks like we're starting to see a flattening out. So jumping right into the numbers, active listings this last month, 187 compared to 164 the previous month. So we're starting to see an uptick, which is good. New listings, 175 versus 171, basically flat. Sold listings down, 167 compared to 180. Absorption rate in San Luis Obispo County, Southern San Luis Obispo County, was 1.2 months compared to 1.1. Not a big increase, but something to note is that it is the first increase we've seen since April of 2020. So that might be a little bit of a sign of things to come here. Median sale price, $735 compared to $675 last May. That is about a 9% increase, which is pretty good. If you remember last month, we had $839 as the median sale price, which was very large. I believe it was an outlier because the month before that we were at $749, the month before that $752. So we're seeing a general upward trend, but we had that big kind of spike outlier month. Looking right at Santa Maria, active listings 72 compared to 73 last month, 69 the month before that. New listings 105 last month. Sold listings was down 86 compared to 97 last month and 108 the month before that. So we're seeing sold listings in Santa Maria decrease 3 months in a row. And again, if you remember back San Luis Obispo, we saw a little bit of a decrease in sold listings as well. Absorption rate, 0.76. That's 3 weeks worth of inventory on the market. 0.78 last month and 0.76 the month before that. So a flattening of that absorption rate. We're no longer seeing a decrease, which is very good for buyers. Hopefully less buyers competing as more houses come on the market. Hopefully that starts to stabilize things a little bit, but we will see. Time will tell. Median sale price was $510. Now compare that to last May, it was $420. That's a 21.5% increase. I think we had an outlier month this month in the Santa Maria area, and we had outlier month last month in the Southern San Luis Obispo County. Because if we look at the year-to-date sales, that's January through May 31st of this year, we're at 475 compared to January through May 31st of last year, we're at 423, which still is a 12.5% increase overall for the Santa Maria area year to date. Very good increase. Stock market returns 7 to 8% over time, so still a very good way to place your money. Now, let's talk about inflation really quick. What is inflation? Inflation basically means your money is worth less. That is not very good for us regular folks. Why is that? What cost you $1 to buy last year might cost you $1.10 to buy this year. And if it keeps on going that way, it costs you more money to buy the same amount of products. The reason we have the inflation is because the government gets to print money. And as they print money, they get to spend the money before it has its inflationary effects. So by the time the government spends it, they print $100, they get to spend that $100. Well, by the time it comes down to us, normal people, and that money gets into circulation, that $100 might only be worth $96. So us regular citizens, we all kind of get the shaft because our money is worth less. The government gets to spend it while it's at full value. And we just see that continue to happen ever since the early 1900s. Not a good thing, but there are a couple ways to hedge against inflation. The first way is to buy assets now on credit. So if you bought an asset that was $100, you are going to be paying that asset down, you're going to be paying that loan down over time, and you're going to be using money that's worth less to pay that same $100. So it's bad for the lender because they are basically getting money that's worth less to pay down something they sold back at a higher value. That is one way to hedge against inflation, assets, stocks, real estate, investments, businesses, things like that. Good things to invest in up front to hedge against inflation. Another way to hedge against inflation is to buy in bulk products now. I heard somebody ask, I won $1,000 on a lottery ticket. Where should I spend that money? The first answer is to not spend it on more lottery tickets, because lottery tickets are a losing game. That's just how the lottery works. The second answer is to buy things in bulk now. And the reason you would do this is because let's say you spent that $1,000 at Costco and you were able to get 10 units worth of groceries. Make it easy, right? 10 units worth of groceries for $1,000, but in 2 years, that same 10 units worth of groceries costs $1,200. Well, you get that difference, that $200 difference is money in your pocket because you don't have to buy those same products at a higher price. Obviously, you can't buy 2 years worth of lettuce and tomatoes, but what you can buy 2 years worth of is deodorant, shampoo, toilet paper, paper towels, toothpaste, things like that. Things that we know are going to go up in cost over time. If you can afford it, if you can have that discipline to buy that now, it is a good thing to do, especially when we're seeing these crazy inflation numbers we've been seeing over the past 4 or 5 months. That's it, guys. Hope you found this valuable. If you have any questions or you know anybody that has any real estate needs, buying, selling, they need a roofer, they need a plumber, whatever it is, give me a call. My number is 805-459-9834.